What up, though, fellas? Back at it again with another video. Cause we improving every day. Today, man, we gonna talk about who you are versus men versus around women. Who you are around men versus who you are around women. Now, why does this topic matter? Why does this hold any sort of relevancy? Wouldn't you think a dude just acts the same around men as he does around women, right? For most dudes, that's not the case. For most dudes, there's a complete dichotomy between who they are around the fellas and who they are around the chicks. Excuse me, who they are around the chicks. You feel me? So I want to go on depth as to why a guy may act differently around the fellas versus around the chicks. Why he may do that, how it may demonstrate itself, and how to remedy that. Because obviously it's going to be subtle differences between who you are, or not who you are, by how you behave around men versus around women. But it shouldn't be a major difference. The difference shouldn't be night and day, light and dark. One end of the spectrum to the other end. They should relatively be similar, because you're always going to be you. Your personality is always going to be you. It's just how appropriate it is to behave around certain people and how appropriate it is to not behave around other people. So we're going to go in depth with the topic. So what a lot of guys do when they hang around men versus when they hang around women. When they hang around men, you can even see this on YouTube sometimes. Sometimes on YouTube, there may be a content creator who he may do panels with men all the time, or panels with his homeboys, or, his YouTube fellas, whatever the case may be. And he acts one way, He acts one way. You think it's him, but then you might catch him on a panel with a woman. Let's say it's a panel with fellas and a woman joins the panel, or let's say he's in a one-on-one panel with a woman, whatever they may be talking about. You feel me? And it's going to be a whole different person. It's a whole different guy. The physical vessel is the same, but who he is and how he's articulating himself, his behavior, his mannerisms, all of that is changing. You get me? And it leaves a lot of dudes wondering, when you was with the fellas, when y'all was talking about whatever y'all was talking about, you acted one way. But when a lady joined, when a lady came into the mix, when you had to speak one-on-one with a lady, you acted completely different. What's going on? What happened? You supposed to be authentic. You supposed to be, a content creator I watch and learn from. But you two different people when you talking to the two different genders. Two completely opposite different people. So let's give an example, a very common example. When guys maybe hang around the fellas, right? Either you in real life, you hang with the homeboys, or you might be on YouTube on a panel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, of course, not all. I'm not even going to say most. I'm going to just say a lot. A lot of guys have this false bravado to themselves, right? Excuse me. They have this false bravado to themselves. It's big macho time. They big alpha male. They big red pill. They the man when they around other dudes. They in constant competition trying to outshine the other dudes that they around, or the other dudes that they talking to. You feel me? They trying to seem like they top dog. They trying to seem like, they get all the women. They get all the ladies. The ladies love them. They a player, right? The chicks kiss their feet. They, as C Boogie like to say, eating catnip out the palm of my hand. Eating the catnip, That's how they are around the fellas. They trying to outshine, constantly trying to outdo. You understand me? They look at every man in that group or every man on that panel as competition. Now, there's a difference between friendly competition and hard-nosed competition, and competition rooted in envy and jealousy and insecurity. That's how they are around the fellas. But the way it comes off, if a man can't read through that false bravado, the way it comes off is confident. The way it comes off is secure. The way it comes off is as if that man is truly that man he's displaying himself to be to those guys. When really it's all an act. It's a facade. False bravado. You know what I'm saying? False bravado. If you don't know what that means, I don't have the exact definition in front of me, but essentially what false bravado is when you try to compensate for a fear. You try to compensate it by acting the opposite or just acting in a way that you would think outshines that fear. You know what I'm saying? So let's say I have a social anxiety. You know, I get real nervous around people. If I'm trying to put on a false bravado, I'm going to go in hella loud. I'm going to go in hella rambunctious. I'm going to try to be the loudest person in the room. I'm trying to get the attention from the whole room. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure that people don't notice that I have a social anxiety. You get me? So that's how they may act around fellas. But then when they get around a woman, you know, whether it be in real life, whether it's on a panel on YouTube, whether it's at work, whether it's at school, whether it's talking to a professor, whether it's talking to a male clerk versus a female clerk at the store, a waiter versus a waitress at a restaurant. They two different people. They big macho man around the fellas. But when it comes to the ladies, they broken down. Because a beautiful woman is always going to expose who a man really is. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful woman is going to expose who a man really is. That's one of the things that'll expose who a man is. I did a video on this back like 4 months ago, damn near something like that, 3-4 months ago, where I talked about 3 things that will expose who a man really is. And one of those things was a beautiful woman. You know, put that man around a beautiful woman. Watch him start acting nervous. Watch his armpits start sweating. You can't see it, but that's what happens. Armpits start sweating, you know, palms get sticky, clammy, hands start trembling. He don't know what to say. You know, his mind is scatterbrained because he knows how women operate. You know, even if you don't know, you have an inkling. You know that women can sense their energy stronger than men can. So he knows the woman is not going to play for that false bravado for the most part. She's not going to play for that false bravado. So he's trying to be authentic, but it's not really working because who he is authentically around that woman is a broken, debilitated boy. He's a young boy. He's still that boy from high school. He's still that boy from middle school. He's still that boy from college. You feel me? Depending on how old he is. He's still that boy, that heartbroken boy, that ego crushed boy, that prideless boy, that insecure boy, that low confident boy, that boy who holds himself in low regard, who doesn't see himself as potential to be upper echelon. So that's why he gets so nervous around this woman. Or another example would be if he even exaggerates the false bravado when he gets around a woman. You know, he get around a woman. It's like when I've told y'all before in a live stream, I know one of my homegirls, she said that she was on a date with a guy and he literally told her, you know, I don't know what the context or the sentence was, but he told her that he was an alpha male. He felt the need to overproject and sell himself so hard and try to sell himself as something that he really isn't, that he told her that he was an alpha male. Do you know how foolish that sounds? Do you know how foolish that sounds? If he was really who he said he was, he wouldn't have to say it. The girl would know it. The woman would know it. The lady will know it. picking up what I'm putting down? Who a man should be around men and who he should be around women. It shouldn't be too different. It shouldn't be too different. You know, with men, yeah, maybe you enhance some of that aggression. Maybe you enhance some of that sternness, that firmness. You understand what I'm saying? When you get around a woman, you know, you're not going to be, maybe you're not going to be so aggressive. Maybe you're not going to be so stern. You might loosen up a little bit, you know, take a deep breath, let the shoulders loose. You know what I'm saying? But it's nothing major because you relaxed in both scenarios because you know you holding your ground. You know you holding your own square. And you know who you are is going to demand respect from anyone who is watching you within your square. So if you're around some men, whether you know them or don't know them, you know who you are is going to demand respect. Whether you around a woman or a group of women, you know who you are is going to demand respect. Now, you know, with men, we don't cross boundaries. So if I'm a man and I'm with a man who I know who he is, demands respect, I'm going to show him respect. I'm not going to test that man. And more than likely, he's going to treat me the same. With women, some women, not all women, but some women, they're going to try and test you. They're going to try and test those boundaries, test that respect. Because they know a lot of dudes be faking. You know, if you really who you would say you are, you're going to show her immediately. Your response to that test is going to show her, okay, I did my little test, you know, because I ain't nothing but a goofy chick. So, you know, I'm out here testing dudes trying to see if they really bought it. He seemed like he really bought it. He is really bought it. So I can't go around operating with him how I could operate around a lot of other guys. You feel me? I'm going to end with this. If you find yourself selling yourself for either one, men or women, more than likely you selling yourself in two opposite directions. With the men, you trying to sell in one direction where you big macho, you the big man, you big alpha, you big red pill. You Mr. Get all the women. You a player, right? You a pimp. And if you selling yourself with the women, you trying to sell yourself as some nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Some soft butterball. More than likely. Like I said, some men will try to sell themselves. The women that's big macho too. If they looked up on YouTube that they gotta be an alpha male and an asshole to these women, then they'll sell themselves as one way to these women. You don't want to be selling yourself at all. You want your masculinity, who you are on the inside, to dictate for itself who you are around men and around women. And it's not going to be that different. It'll be some little tweaks here and there. But it's not going to be a major difference. The difference will be subtle because a man knows how to adapt for situations and circumstances. You feel me? That's the topic for the day, man. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.